Have you ever seen a figure announcement and thought, wow, this was made for me and me alone? For some, this might be the release of a character from a super niche show, for others, the centerpiece of their collection, or just in general, your dream combination of outfit, pose, and scenery. I for one had this moment of imagined exclusivity when Good Smile announced that there will be café uniform versions of Chisato and Takina from LycoReco in Nendo form. And I know what you now think. Really? Characters from a modern popular show within a figure line where everybody and their OC eventually gets a release are considered holy grails to you? How come? Well, I will tell you all about this within a minute, but first let's hear a word from this episode's sponsor. Just kidding, let's jump straight into it. Those are the boxes Chisato and Takina come in. At first glance, pretty standard, but if we look closer and compare it to all the other LycoReco Nendos, you'll notice a couple of changes. For example, we now got this soft tea house themed background pattern, and the inlay print is now the Sweets Cafe logo instead of the titular Ricola's flower. And this is pretty interesting, I think. They changed the headshot position of Chisato's box from right to left so that if you hold it together like this, you get a more cohesive look. On its side, we get a notice that you are legally obligated to buy both of them. Or at least I assume this is what the text says, but I could be wrong. Backside is pretty standard for Nendo box with a few pictures and tons of legal text. But all in all, I really like how those boxes are styled, and the color scheme reminds me a bit of a plate of dango. Okay, but now it's finally time to unbox them, and while I'll do, I will further elaborate why I needed those figures in my life. Back in 2001, I built this weather station with another set of twin characters in an alternative outfit, and once this task was completed, the next logical step of course was to build a cuckoo clock. But since I didn't know which characters to use, I never went through with the idea. Well, at least not until I saw this show called LycoReco, fell in love with the cast, and instantly ordered the Nendoroids when they got released. But now I had the problem that Nendoroid number 1955 and 1956 were Chisato and Takina in their classic agent uniform. But for the cuckoo clock, I decided not to go with the Bavarian style, but rather theme it around Café LycoReco itself. And therefore I was once again stuck. And honest to God, I never thought that we will get the waitress uniform in this line of figures. But well, big surprise, last year not only was it revealed that there will be a Kurumi Nendoroid, but the waitress uniforms as well. And yeah, so this is the reason why it was a super important release to me. By the way, how's the unboxing going? Yeah, pretty good. Let me just open this and... Okay, let's see. This is the crane and the rest goes like... Perfect. Now it's time to go a bit more in depth and determine if this version of Chisato and Takina is also worth considering for people that don't own a Nendo-sized cafe from the show, or perhaps it is even the far superior version. The first thing you might notice is that per design, the main body sculpt as well as some of the arm and hand parts are identical for both figures and only feature an alternative color palette. This might seem like a low effort, but this also means that if you bought them as a set, you can now swap those parts between characters to your heart's content. You see, it's totally possible for both of them to hold the menu, or for Takina to carry Chisato's signature dessert, and vice versa. But just keep in mind that Takina's hot chocolate parfait does not only look like a big dump, it's also pretty crap to set it up, because for some reason it doesn't feature a peg or a hole in the bottom, and you simply must stick this smooth plate with almost no friction into one of her hands. Both desserts come with those tiny gold single spoons, and I'm as surprised as you are that after all this excessive posing for this review, I still have both of them. Besides the sweet treats, the Chisato Nendo also comes with this wood sign that has a very detailed print on it and is perfect for putting it up in front of your Nendo-sized Café cuckoo clock. Takina, on the other hand, only comes with this menu as a secondary accessory. This small printed tile feels a bit underwhelming compared to the sign, but then at least it's an item that can be carried by the figure itself. Because for some reason I'm not a big fan of those accessories that are just miniatures of something that must be solely placed on the base next to the character. Always feels like a bit of an afterthought. As you can see, Takina's dark hair against my pitch black void isn't a particularly great combo, so perhaps can I have some backlight please to... it's like changing to a light theme on your browser. This might be better in terms of presentation, and now you can see the contours of a twin tails a bit better, but let's keep the lights down to save on electricity, okay? Takina's hero pose is this one where she holds her tray close to the chest with her arms crossed. This one works well with all three faces and is easy to set up. The tray is glued into her forearm and both of them are special molds completed with sleeves and hands. When I moved places last year, I also had to come up with a new storage solution for all my Nendo parts, and therefore I went through the accessories of a couple of low-digit numbers, and it was interesting to see how many different molded arms and legs you got in the early days of Nendoroid. Now the parts are much more streamlined, and yes, this made them more poseable, but as a negative side, they also have far more gaps now, and it doesn't look as clean as it used to. In terms of versatility, I think you get good value out of this set. Not only are the plates with the sweets, the menu and the spoon a good match for other restaurant or cafe themed Nendos, but you also get some cute little hand gestures like the peace sign or finger guns. Plus, if you're extra creative, you might also be able to use parts of the uniform for other characters as well. Especially the bottom part with the sandals and without the apron might be a solid base for a kimono-inspired outfit. And as for figure photography, both of them have one big advantage. Despite their tiny feet, they can stand upright on their own without the use of the support crane. Well, at least on a total level surface if there is no wind or other vibrations. Since both of them feature short or tied back hair, the peg hole for the stand is not obstructed in any way and it is very easy to mount or dismount them. As for the extra faces, we get a cheeky grin and a winking one where she sticks out her tongue for Chisato, and an annoyed or disappointed one, as well as a happy looking plate for Takina. All of them look great and allow for a wide range of poses and expressions. Plus, if you own the combat uniform ones as well, now you might have even more face plates to mix and match. Honestly, now I feel kinda sad that I already sold those versions. Well, at least I still have the Kurumi one so that she can reside as well in my miniature cafe. Also, in terms of combining elements from both releases, you will get this different hairstyle for Takina that will allow for even more variety. Chisato's hairstyle is the same one as in the combat version, and it wouldn't surprise me if they even used the exact same mold. All in all, this is a livelier looking set that got way superior faceplates than the original. The accessories, even if they are not substantial, can be used quite versatile, and I really like those outfits that are a combination of yukata, happy and classical waitress uniforms. But in my opinion, this really should have been sold as a set, kinda similar to the childhood version of Ram and Ram, so that everyone can obtain them both and maybe, just maybe, get a slight discount, because it's a double pack then, because I don't think there will be many buyers out there who get one agent but not the other. I mean, come on, they're friends, they belong together. And if you are a diehard fan of the series, there are now a total of 7 LycoReco Nendos to choose from, if you count the dolls as well. Come to think of it, it may be worthwhile to buy all of them just for their faceplates and use them on the Nendo dolls, because those fabric outfits are cute and all, but most of the time those dolls come with the most generic expressions. Okay, now you've got a good overview about these cafe style variants, and I was also able to share my personal story with you why I'm super happy that those versions exist. I know I mentioned it a couple of times during the review, but still you might think there is absolutely no way that he built a Nendo-sized replica of the cafe where Chisato and Takina do their undercover work. And I know it's hard to believe, but in fact in the summer of 2023 I did exactly that. And now after 2 more years of waiting, it is finally time to put in those correct versions. Okay, everything is now set up. Here is the turntable with the Nendoroids on it, and here we have the clock part of the cuckoo clock from an old radio. And once I plug this in, the figures will start turning around every hour on the hour. See? Isn't that great? Ah yes, very cool. You can barely hear the motor spinning. Right! Together with the picture frames, this will be the perfect studio decoration. And believe me, the turning of the figures 24 times each day will be a joy to watch each and every time. Yeah, great! What a nice idea! Can I have some noise cancelling around this? Oh God, thank you. Okay. Let's wrap this up before it comes up with any more crazy ideas. Next time I will show you this Gridman Universe figure with an interesting approach to presentation. Oh nice! You know what? Let's mount the swing from the studio ceiling. I already got my power tools on hand. Oh God, now I have to go. Take care out there and keep having fun collecting.